Join us every Sunday for an episode of the Digital Business Forum at 2 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. MST, 5 p.m. EST, and 10 p.m. GMT. This forum will feature successful, experienced digital business owners with inspiring information to help you make that informed decision about starting your own digital business. By starting your own online business, you will have more free time to take control of your life, create generational wealth, retire early, and make money from anywhere in the world with just your laptop, phone, and internet. If this resonates with you, don't miss this Sunday. Digital Business Forum. Be informed, be inspired.
All right. Welcome to yet another episode of the Digital Business Forum. My name is David. I'm a senior advisor on cybersecurity here in America, in the US, and I'm a digital business entrepreneur. Tonight, we have the pleasure of hosting Jen from Canada, our guest. You're welcome. She's got a lot to share with us, so all ears open. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea, and let's take it away. We'll begin with Dorothy for our introductions, and then we'll have Jen introduce herself, and then we'll pick it up from there. Otherwise, you're all welcome, and we're glad to have you here. Dorothy.
All right. Thank you, David. Thank you, our guest for today. Jen, you're welcome on the Digital Business Forum. We are here to inspire people and be informed out there. And my name is Dorothy Nakalema, originally from Uganda. I'm a proud digital business coach, a former nurse, anti-money laundering analyst, and a safety environment officer. So I'm super excited to have you. I'm excited when we have, guests from our community. We always bring people to inspire you and you be informed. And yeah, back to you, David.
Thank you, Dorothy, for that very brief but exciting introduction. Let's have Jen from Canada. Yes, Jen.
Well, guys, thank you for having me. And I'm sorry I am on my PJs because I totally forgot. But I'm glad to be here. This is the beauty of it. You can do a business forum on your PJs. So it's Jennifer from Ontario, Canada. I used to be in real estate and mortgage industry, and I've been in the business for 4.5 years, almost 5 years now. And so far, this business has treated me nothing but great.
Wow.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Jane. We're very excited, and we hope our viewers out there are going to learn something from you, because 5 years experience doing this surely should count for something, and there definitely is something to learn. Just to get you into the mood to start spitting, could you elaborate on your journey into the digital online world? What inspired you into going digital?
You know what? I am a mother of two beautiful kids. So my kids were 4 and 6 when I first started the business, and I was just that typical mom who is tired of dropping kids at the daycare. And I am a mortgage specialist by profession, and I also did real estate. So there was a lot of driving. It was tiring, really. So I kind of just 4 years old, it's still young. 6 years old is still young. Every time I drop them at the daycare, they still cry, they still scream. And every time you drop them, it still breaks your heart. So I think I've been looking into something, I can do from home, and at the same time be available with my kids. I found the business in 2018. It was introduced to me, but just like anybody else, people who are watching and will be watching these are probably the same. I was very skeptical about it. So I really did not pay attention to it. And then by 2020, the same opportunity was presented again. So I was like, okay, well, let me give it a try. Right. So it's pretty much my kids. My kids probably the time, because it was a constant chase of time. My husband work, and then I have to leave the minute he gets home to meet clients, or on the weekend I will be out there meeting clients, and he will be home with the kids. So family time is not in existence 4.5 years to go.
Wow. Thank you very much. Jen, when you mentioned the whole 8 to 5 grind that requires you to wake up very early in the morning, to, be at work at certain times, say 8 o'clock. And, besides that, you have kids that you have to drop off, because that's still your responsibility, You have an obligation at work to be there on
Yeah.
time and to do what you got to do, because that's how you get paid. But on the other hand, there's this whole family life where you have school going kids, because when you mentioned 4 and 6,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those are not people you leave at home. Those are people that
Yeah,
have to attend
absolutely.
school.
Yeah.
So, thinking about waking up so early in the morning, preparing them so you can be in time, to be at your desk. It means they're going to have to be at school very early in the morning. Okay. Besides being there so early, you have to wake them up, um, a little earlier than usual for
Mm-hmm.
a young child to be, hustling like that. So again, when you imagine, it's one of those pains that a parent goes through, especially when they're not self-employed, or when they're not, considered investors, but they have to work a job. Okay, it's one of those things that you die to self and say, you know what, this is how things work. This is how it is in this world, and I gotta do. And that can be for many people. That can be a big enough reason to say, you know what, I choose to try different. Okay, so I can imagine where you come from, as far as that is concerned. Dorothy, what do you have to say, or do you have any comments?
Yes, of course, I have a comment. As a parent, actually, it is one of my even biggest why I started my business. It's because it is exactly situation. And you're in Canada, I'm in the US, but sometimes I always say that as long as you're a parent or even you're an immigrant, it is kind of we are going through the same situation. It doesn't matter where you are located, because it's exactly situation like you were submitting. It's what exactly I went through. But I always share mine. My case, it was even worse, whereby I used to, since he was young, I think I started when he was about 3 months, but I used to take him when he's sleeping. Just know I wasn't in his life. I just prepare everything, the changing clothes, like everything together. And you just carry the baby when he was even still sleeping. You drop him sleeping. He doesn't know even if you leave. So it reached on an extent whereby they feel like, the daycare and the babysitters, they are family. Time reaches whereby you don't even connect to a kid as a parent. So to me, it was really a very good opportunity to jump on it. And I'm glad that my guest here, like our guest here, it's exactly the same thing. So if you're parents out there, I think if you're resonating with this kind of situation, it's high time for you to take action. Back to you, David.
Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy. Yeah, you've shared your story, Dorothy, a couple of times, and it's really, heartfelt experience that you went through. When you mentioned your child for so many months, actually years. You said he
Yeah,
started
it's years,
walking.
because I did that from since he was 3 months, closely to 3 years. That's when I landed on this opportunity, when he's clocking to 3 years.
Yeah, that was quite a
Yeah,
challenge,
it
and
was a big one.
unfortunately one that for many people is not very easy to to navigate and come out of, wow.
Yeah.
So anyway, Dorothy, I would like to call you back to engage with our guest and shoot her one more question to, kind of get the thing going.
Okay. All right. Thank you, David. And thank you, Jen, for coming actually and for sharing that, a little bit of your story. It's really helping people out there. And so our next question is, how have you been able to identify a good opportunity to jump on it? As you know that there's a lot of online businesses out there, and I don't know if you ever tried one like others that having some online businesses out there. Maybe that have ever been maybe scammed, or they were like, oh, online business
Mhm.
it's all about scamming, something like that. So for your case, how did you identify that, oh, this is the right opportunity for me to jump on?
You know, I think identifying it alone will be tough. I highly suggest for people who are looking into the same opportunity to do your due diligence. It's not, it's free to ask. Do your research. At the end of the day, I do get it. There's so many out there that scams people. There's so many out there that's so illegitimate, right? But this is just one of those example where I know for sure that you guys are legit, because I don't see a point where you're going to be putting your face out there globally to scam people, right? So that's kind of just one of the point. Like, you want to connect with this people, either if it is a company or an individual, and create that personal connections, just to have a feeling of, is this really a good opportunity or not? Now, the other thing will be is online business opportunities. It's really is the way to go. Like, I don't know how many of us, most likely 99%, like used online to do the purchase, to do so much, right? To connect to people. Like, it's there. You use it every day. So might as well capitalize on it and make a living using it. Like, how many of us are actually using Facebook account, Twitter? Like, it's similar. It's what we are already doing on a day-to-day basis, except that in this business opportunity you make money. So it is like just seeing that alone is, you can tell that, okay, this is a good opportunity. Why am I wasting my time browsing on TikTok? Why am I wasting my time browsing on Facebook and checking this stuff, right? When there's actually a business that capitalize on Facebook and make a living from it. So there's so much, but of course, on top of that, again, I said it's the most important is doing your due diligence, asking questions. With this business, there is the complimentary webinar. Go watch it. Now, I hear a lot of people, they said they don't have the time. You know what? If you have been scammed before, I would not have a doubt why you were scammed, because if you say you don't have a time to actually even do a due diligence, then yes, it won't be hard for people to scam you. But this is a chance we're giving you guys. Come and watch our complimentary webinar, because it's complimentary, it's free. That webinar will give you guys sufficient information on how we capitalized on the most wide platforms used out there and make a living. So that's the beginning. Like, spend that time. If you can spend 30 minutes, 90 minutes on, again, I said every day, some people spend like hours and hours watching TikTok and so forth, right? So there is a good opportunity right in front of you, and all you need to do is actually do your due diligence, put that time in it. You just don't know. Maybe it's the one you've been looking for as well.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Jane. You made so many interesting points. Well, up there, you made so many interesting points. And when it comes to due diligence, well, you mentioned the question was clear. How are you able to identify a good opportunity? And you said something profound. You said, well, it's not just about identifying, by the way, because there's so many out there, but the due diligence. If you don't put time aside to do your due diligence, then definitely, yes, you will get into something that you haven't clearly, evaluated. And if things go wrong, then that's on you. Okay. But here she says that you have to do your due diligence. I've been around some people that have redefined due diligence for me. There's a particular gentleman, we actually went to school together. He's an old boy. He has redefined due diligence for me, because the amount of times he has called, not just me, but coaches, and been all over the place just to try and make this decision. Okay. I don't even want to call it analysis paralysis, but I understand where he's coming from, because he has been into a business before where things didn't go right. And whenever you start a business, you're investing money, and nobody has that money to throw around. However rich you might think somebody is. And actually, the people that we call wealthy or rich, they understand the value of money. These are the people that just don't part away with their money. It's hard earned, and they understand the value. Okay. So if somebody is going to do a business, they owe it to themselves to do the due diligence. Otherwise, they might just find themselves in some kind of a pitfall. And then you mentioned things to do with, just some piece of advice you threw out there, that we're always on these social media platforms. We are online shopping, for all sorts of things, clothing, technology, even the food we enjoy. We're online, Facebook scrolling, having fun, liking things here and there. You're on Instagram scrolling and watching other people enjoy their lives, travel or dance and do all sorts of things. TikTok, And you're saying, you know what, guys, while you're at it, there are people that are actually making money, not just scrolling, but taking advantage of these technologies and leveraging off of these technologies to make a living. And they're actually doing great on these social media platforms, on these digital technologies. So why not take advantage of that?
Absolutely.
Why not become a part of that movement? Because this is the digital age. You can't run away from the digital space. It's just impossible. Because even if you don't want, I've seen seniors, sorry to digress, but I've seen seniors that old school, okay? They're used to going to a bank, signing a check, drawing money, okay? But things have changed. They have to use their mobile phones, use a mobile app to do transactions. Even even when they might want to go to a bank these days, they make it so hard to access those services that somebody will think twice and rather use the digital technologies, use the phone to draw money, because the amount of time you're going to spend in traffic, to the bank, wait, you have to be on appointment. Lately here in the States, many of these, apart from I think people that are drawing are going to use what do they call it, bank hall services, but for many you have to make an appointment. You'll get there and they say, are you on appointment? And they say, but you could have done it online. What, do you want to create a new account? You could have done that in the comfort of your home, and they'll show you around so that they encourage you to do that next time. And the seniors are struggling. But they have embraced technology because there's nowhere to run. They have to. It's here. So it's the digital era. You can use it for fun, but we are saying there is an opportunity. There is an opportunity to take advantage and leverage these technologies to make money. So I really thank you for that, for for bringing it out that, hey, these technologies are here. And besides, whatever I was doing, I know for a fact that I should find some kind of opportunity to take advantage of. Why not? So we really thank you for that. Dorothy, do you have anything you'd like to add on to that, please?
Of course, yeah. You submitted it all, but to give a little bit I like the point that now everything is digital, going digital, because if you look at all the successful companies or successful people out there, all the business they are doing, look at Elon Musk.
Mhm.
Everywhere you guys, you're seeing him on medias like Instagram, TikTok, like everywhere he's there. It's because everything is going digital. Now he's bringing his brand on media, like everything is going digital. So for me, I just like that point that should like our people should, I always call it, should wake up, because at the end of the day, it will be like the way COVID came. We thought that it's something very simple. Little did we know that the world can shut down, whereby you cannot even leave your house for some good time. So guys, it's just kind of an alert for people to wake up. Back to you, David. Thank you so much, Jen.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Dorothy. Thank you very much. Yeah, Jen, just to add a little salt onto onto that point. Again, you mentioned something to do with the why. While you're doing your due diligence, really,
Yeah.
and if you're going to do this in any kind of business, what is that? What is pushing you? What is pushing you to go online? Okay, the two of you were mentioning family life. The fact that you have little ones or young ones that need you, and that's the time they need you most. Okay, like, how do I participate? How do I do better? How do I do better in their early years? Okay, how do I avail myself more, and contribute towards developing these young humans? And you choose to try different. Say, you know what, there's traditional business, there's all this, but if I could find something I could do, because people are doing things online rather than, and everybody is using the technologies, like you said, Facebook, whatever. Why not take advantage of that time I use to scroll and gain nothing? Why don't I, tune it and turn it into a money-making venture? And I give you a check on that, because yes, it works, and you've managed to do that. So the reason why people do what they do, we keep saying that it should be strong enough. If it's strong enough, you should find such a strong reason to do it. It's the only way. It's the only fuel. If you want to fuel yourself, find a good enough reason that will, kickstart you. We always push you to the description from wherever you're watching us, our viewers out there. Look into the description for this video. There is a link that will take you to our website. 20 minutes video will be unlocked when you enter your name and email. There's a free 20 minutes video that will explain how to get you started onto this opportunity. Okay, we are saying, as part of your due diligence, take action. Go look at this video. It's up to you. We always say that it's an opportunity. If you're cut out to do it, you will know. If you're not, it's just another opportunity, and you can always move on to better things in life. But we're saying, if you think you're at such a point where you need to try different, okay, to try and get a different result, then this might be your opportunity. And we're saying, find the time, watch the video, and take action. Jen?
Yeah.
I hope you're ready for this one.
Sure. Let's bring it up.
Okay. So were there any moments when you felt like giving up, Because after doing traditional 8 to 5, jobs or businesses, here you are doing technology. I know people find it easy to scroll and watch, but when it comes to doing a business, okay, each one of these platforms you mentioned, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, okay, all the sweet technologies I just mentioned, they have a business side.
Yeah.
Okay? And their business side is a bit of a maze, okay? Because there's it's different. The way you set it up is very different from how we
Mhm.
set up, the usual sweet Facebooks, Yahoo,
Yep.
TikToks and the YouTubes. Sign in with your email and boom, you're online. Add a few clicks and you have some community, and then you start seeing things. So there's always a business side that involves um, you working it. Okay, so how have you navigated that? And have yeah.
Well, you know what? This may surprise you actually, because believe it or not, I only use Facebook. I don't
Right.
have any other platforms. So, for some of you guys who are looking into starting the business, and your first fear is, okay, well, I'm not a tech savvy. I really am not into online platforms. Well, guess what? Here I am, standing in front of you guys here, 4.5 years in the business, almost 5 years. I consider myself successful. Um, and still have Facebook. I don't have TikTok. I don't have Instagram. I don't have Twitter, YouTube, or any of all that platforms. I mainly used Facebook. And you pointed it direct that these platforms have their own challenges, right? Um, I I've been trying to ignore to take those challenges yet, or maybe it's what I'm basically what I'm trying to do is the Facebook works for me. It has done phenomenal job in my business. So it's kind of like, why change? Why change something when it works, right?
Right.
But challenges. Speaking of difficulties, challenges, have I felt giving up? I haven't even started here. I already felt like giving up. I started with a very skeptical husband, and my husband pretty much told me that this is a total joke. Like, don't even look into it. It's a scam. It's a Ponzi. Like, you know better than this. You're smarter than this. Like, name it. I heard it all. Um, so that alone was a challenge. But it's asking yourself again, do I really want to drive all over the place? Do I really want to be dropping my kids? Do I really want to, is this the life I wanted, or do I wanted more? Right. So at the end of the day, it's, I think, knowing what you want, and staying committed to what you want. It's not a matter of it. Uh, it's not a matter of validating from others that if this is for you or not, because I think that's what causes people most of the time to give up, because they just feel like, um, my sister said it's not going to work. Someone said it's not going to work. It's that sense of rejection from other people, and we just think that, okay, maybe it's not for me as well. Well, no. Well, you have to make it for you, right? Because you have to, because if what you're doing right now is not giving you or satisfying you with what you want in life, then obviously you need to make a change.
Sure.
You need to make a change, and that change may require sacrifices, and it's taking that ownership, it's taking that responsibility of, okay, I want this is what I want, and this is what it takes to do this.
Mhm.
Challenges people in the business, and I've met quite a few of them already, when they are in that journey and reach those bumps, they tend to turn around and give up, when that is the most crucial part that they should consider to keep pushing harder,
Right.
because success and failure, they're on the same road. The
Right.
same road. There is no shortcut, there's no detour. They're on the same road, except that success is at the very end of that road. So
Exactly.
if you keep going, and
Mm.
then when you reach the bump, stop
Yeah.
right in the middle of the same road, well, guess what? You will never reach that success.
There you
So
go.
these are given. These are supposed to be expected. This so people may consider them as a fail, right? I consider them, this is your first attempt. It's your first attempt. Every fail is your first attempt
Mm.
or something better. So
Right.
mindset plays a vital role. And again, I said taking that ownership and responsibility of really, this is what you want, right? I will do whatever it takes. Who cares? Who cares if you failed 100 times? Like, do you think like people that are successful right now never fail? They failed probably 1,000 times. Like,
Right.
you probably cannot even
Imagine.
count it, right? But there, I always go back to, well, if I stop doing this, will it change my life? If I stop doing this, will it better my family's life? Right? Or am I going to go back to my 8 to 5 jobs? So challenges are inevitable. And I think getting your mind ready for that, it wouldn't matter if this is brick or mortar. It doesn't even matter if this is about school. It is setting your mind that this is going to be expected, right? Like a lot of people that joined in the journey would say like, oh, I didn't know that there's a training or there's, well, guess what? There will be changes. There will be changes. There will be training. There will be this, right?
Sure.
But you should have expected that prior, because if you're going to give up only because you're overwhelmed with things that you need to learn, you should have not started in the first place, right?
Mhm.
So what keeping me motivated is really the life I picture. So I kind of created I call it my dreamscape. So I call it so if you have a landscape, this is my dreamscape. So I picture myself. So you're probably going to do this business, for people who are watching and will be watching this, is because you were inspired. You resonated to someone you probably have seen on a video, or probably this beautiful people in here, right? And you create that picture. Okay, if I do this business and I become successful at it, this is how I picture myself 3 years, 5 years from now.
Right.
So every time I feel like I'm overwhelmed, every time I feel like it's not worth moving anymore, I go back to that dreamscape of mine.
Right.
So if I quit now, I will never see my dreamscape. Right? So,
Yeah.
so it's always going back to, well, why did I want this in the first place?
Right. The why.
Yeah.
Thank
Wow.
you very much, Jenny. Dorothy, do you want
Yes.
to
Yeah, it
add
was
on?
really very wonderful or strong points. It's all driving to why it drives us back why you started it. So if you feel like there's that extent, the example our guest gave, it's really self-explanatory. I always even say it's like you are in the race. If you realize that we are in the race of running, at the extreme end, when you're about to end it, most especially, that's when people are giving up. So just make sure when you feel like you're on that extent, it doesn't matter, even if not this business, even if it's your normal life, but you reach on that extent where like you want to give up, just know that you're just a step away to your success. You put it in mind that you are on the race. When you're on a race, you are the first out of maybe, let me say, 100 people, and now you just think the ending line and you feel like you want to collapse. So look, whatever you're doing in your life, look at it as that way, that you are just steps away to your
Mhm.
success. So it was really powerful information. And I'm gonna go back to you, David. I don't want to keep you guys for so long here, so back to you.
All right. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy. Wow. Jenny, Dorothy, thank you for those points. Just to circle back on what Jenny said, for the purposes of our viewers to take in, to ham it in. She mentioned the sense of rejection from other people,
Yeah.
as you're fired up
Mhm.
to do something in life, okay? We always have an ear. I mean, a voice in our ears. And that voice sometimes is people from our own families, okay? Could be a brother, a sister, an uncle, your own parent or something, even your spouse could be that
Even
voice.
friends.
Yes, for many, many times, the spouses. And they were like, what is this? Of course, they're skeptical. You heard something, you stumbled on something online, and you think it could be a game changer for you, and you're bringing it home to get that support from your spouse, from your family, and things just don't work out the way you expected because the negativity or the energy is not resonating with with what you were fired with prior. And Jenny just said, hey, you know what, this happens, and in life these things will always happen, but you should find it within yourself to um, to have the courage to move on while you're doing your due diligence. Okay, if you can feel it, because um, everybody that has done something substantial in life, they've put up a fight. Okay, what do I mean by they've put up a fight? Unless it's gambling, where you're going to roll a dice. Okay. Hey, and by the way, um, I do have these here. Okay. So when I talk about rolling a dice, I look at these and I'm like, whatever I'm doing at this desk has nothing to do with this. I always remind myself that this is not rolling a dice. This is real business. So because it's real business, you have to work it. Okay? It's not gonna come by rolling a dice and you see sixes and you say, no, this is business and you have to work it. It's not a get rich quick. This is a quick reminder that this is not a get rich quick kind of business. No, this is traditional digital business. It's look at it as doing business just digitally. Okay. Not just going online and thinking that, oh, you're going to create magic. No, there's no magic here. There's work. There's work, there's strategy. Okay. And there's patience and there's earning. The beauty that comes with this system is that you have the flexibility to do it from anywhere in the world, from your home, from the comfort of your home. While you're at your child's soccer game, you can carry your iPad. Okay, that's why we buy these technologies. You have an iPad, you have a mobile phone. It's not just to scroll and see people dancing. No, it's for you to be productive wherever you are, but within your comfort. That's why we're saying you don't have to be at a traditional premise called an office in the downtown or wherever you live. We're saying bring your downtown with you. You know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
Bring your downtown home. Take your downtown to your child's game. Okay. Take your downtown on your travels wherever you want to go. This is all we're saying. But taking your downtown means working, being within strategy and doing all these things that business people do. And the beauty, you see, Jenny has a business partner that actually Jenny told us something interesting. Let me tell that as she was coming for this show, Jenny's son had to remind her that, hey, the alarm is off. It looks like you have an appointment. That partner right there was like, Mom, I think you're missing something. Your alarm is off. And you have to be somewhere and for the, oh yeah, I do have the life, you know. But you see, this is her bringing her downtown, you know, to the show. So what I'm trying to say is that while you do what you do, while you do your due diligence, you have to remind, you have to remember that this is not a get rich quick scheme. It's digital. It's digital business. So obviously, the sense of rejection that comes from our people is because they don't understand. I mean, some of them don't know where you're coming from. So even after you doing your due diligence, they still don't get it that way. They think this is something you're jumping on, you're going to throw money away, and you haven't done your due diligence. It's a scheme. Look at us all here, okay? I don't. If this is a scam, then it should be a very perfect scam. That you're here for years talking about something that nobody has come out to actually say they scammed me. Okay, if there's anybody out there that thinks that he has been scammed, just come out and go to
Drop it in the comment section.
Put it in the comment section, or go report it somewhere that there is these guys and they're scamming. You know what I mean? Because you have our faces, you know who we are. You can Google around and come out and say you've been scammed. If you can't come up with such an allegation, then it's up to you to actually look into what we're saying and say, what are these guys talking about? You know what I mean? If nobody is really coming out, so what are they coming out? Rather than you know, sitting on the fence and, you know, making all these assumptions, do your due diligence. And again, we say, if you're not cut out to do this, it's okay. Okay? But do your due diligence. This might be what you're looking for, actually, or something that might be a game changer for you. So, Jenny, we thank you for bringing this out. And also, you said something about success and failure being on the same road.
Yeah.
Very good. Success and failure, okay? Opposites of each other.
Yeah.
On the same road, but one before the other. So success is at the farthest.
Exactly.
But as you're making these, I call them little successes, because you keep checking boxes, and it's called growth. Because a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. We all agree, right? A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. So if you're able to check off at 1 mile, okay, that's success. Because between the first step and the 1 mile, you have your challenges, you have all these bumps in the road. But if you've managed to make a mile, I give you a check there. Thank you for doing a mile, but the journey continues, okay? And the bumps you just experienced in the first mile, I'm just saying you have another 99 miles of finding bumps.
I know, yeah.
You know, this is clearly what it means, because your first mile came with challenges. But you see, as you continue doing this mileage, covering mileage, you're becoming accustomed to maneuvering challenges, okay? Because, you know, the first challenges you face in the first mile are you're not going to face them the same way when you're doing the 33rd mile. Okay, it's going to be different. Life is going to present a different challenge. But again, you have a bit of training now and know how to maneuver. So when Jenny says that you'll definitely find bumps, because both success and failure are on the same road. He's saying you just have to tune your mind, the mindset again. Okay, if you know what's coming, then you're in a better place to know how to navigate and how to move forward. Okay, clearly that's what you're saying. And thank you for saying it in so many different ways. And I hope that people out there have learned something.
On addition to that, a little bit, David, Our guest spoke about knowing where you are going. It was very important. Like, where are you seeing yourself in the next 5 years? So if you think that, okay, I want to become my own boss, or I want to achieve this or that, I want to, get a mortgage, something like that, but you are still doing the same thing, whereby in that same thing, maybe you've been doing it for 5 years, but you're expecting a change within 5 years, but you're not changing what you're doing. So I myself am a living testimony. I know a lot of people out there. If you're my follower, if you're viewing me anywhere, I believe you know me from the day I started my business, because I wasn't a social media person. So I came into media when I started my digital business. But it can tell you 2 years ago and Dorothy of today, you can get a difference, right? There's a very big difference. So knowing where you're going, it's really very important. For me, I decided to go the digital world because I realized for me to start up a traditional business, it's going to take me a lot of capital to start it. So, and at the same time, I'm like, okay, within 5 years, I need to see myself here. I need to do this. But to be honest, I couldn't do it when I was still living a paycheck. I had to get ways for me, to own a business. And I realized that the only way I can make it is through starting up a digital business where it doesn't need me, it doesn't need a lot of capital to start it, because there's a lot of expenses I could say you're trying to dodge. I'm dodging the rent. I'm dodging the employees to pay them. There's a lot of things I'm dodging, whereby at the end of the day, I can, come up with all my profits, yet I use the little, to spend in my business. So it was really a very good, tip people to note out there, that whatever you're doing, you have to know where you are going. Why are you even doing it? Because the reason why you're doing it, those are the results where you are going, right? Thank you so much, David. Back to you.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Dorothy, for that addition. And just to wind it up, she's saying that, hey, this is easy to start. You don't need a lot of money. 2, it's flexible, okay, and it's 100% doable
and legit.
Okay, 100% doable, and it's legit, because if anything that's going to involve the IRS, in the States, it's the IRS, Internal Revenue Services, I think, where we pay our taxes. You have to pay tax. It means you're registered to do legal business.
Yeah. I think in Canada, it's a T4, right?
Yes. In Canada, you guys do have a T4.
Correct.
Yeah. It's according on which country everybody they are located.
T4, but let me play dumb and ask, what does that represent? T4. Why do you call it a T4?
It would be like your 1099, right? So for us, right? So as you mentioned, this is a legit business, and I'm glad that you guys are pointing this out there. So a legit business, how do you even know if what the opportunity presented to you is actually legit, right? So the minute people actually decide to become part of this journey, the first thing you need to do is to present or make your social SSN number, social security number, without a status on anywhere around the world, because we operate global. Without the status in the country that you guys are residing, you are not qualified to actually become part of this business. So that alone speaks for the legitimacy of the business, because if this is a scam, who cares if you are a resident or not? It's just to make money, right? So, but this business is, yes, 110% legit. It will require your social security number for you guys to end, because at the end of the year, you will be issued a 1099, which will consider you as a self-employed business owner. If you guys are employee, you guys have your employment income. When you become part of the business, then apart from your employment income, you now have a self-employed income, right? In Canada, will be the same. We have we have to submit our social insurance number, and we have the T4A. Um, Australia will be the same. They need to have an ABN, and it's again, it's anywhere around the world. That's how legit we are.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. I know that for a fact. And also in Africa, where because we do have some people that are doing um, these businesses from, I mean, when we say global, we mean all continents.
Yeah.
And in Africa too. Um, I think I know for a fact that the people that are in Africa, they um, they have special way they deal with Africa because
Yeah.
sometimes some countries lack systems, so they let them calculate their own tax. The company there's
But
a liability waiver that they have to sign, especially if they're going to do business
business,
where
yeah.
they are not involved in the taxation there. So they'll add you onto the systems and onto their platforms. You'll do business, but you'll sign a waiver because of
Yeah.
the taxing systems that are not digitalized in Africa. They don't know how you guys do things. Sometimes they'll say, okay, you guys Africans.
But excuse me, David, it's
Yeah.
really according to each country, even if you are in Africa. For
Correct.
example, like my
Yes.
country, Uganda, everybody who is owning a business, we have what we call a TIN number. So it
Yeah.
means you're owning a business. So of course, if you're gonna do this business, trust me, when you wanna file your taxes in my country, Uganda, you will have to have that TIN number.
Yes, but I'm
Yeah.
saying
So it's really
um,
according to each and everybody's country what they provide for when it comes to taxes.
there you go. Exactly what I say. That because systems are different, and
Yeah.
Africa has a lot of countries that haven't made it there in as far as systems are concerned. Okay, and so because of that, they still have so many gaps where they can't really follow you to the dot on some of these requirements.
Mhm.
And that's why there are all these waivers sometimes you have to sign on, but it doesn't mean that they don't do the business. So people are doing business in Africa as well. They're doing it in Europe. It's only a little easier with these systems where they know, hey, where's your social security, your IDs and stuff. They'll send you a form, a tax form,
Mhm.
as an independent contractor, or you have to present all these things. If you're coming in as a business registered company, then you have to issue your EIN, employee identification number,
Yeah.
just for taxation purposes here in the US. I don't know what they issue in Canada and in Europe, but there are all these systems that you have to comply to. And that's where we say, if it wasn't legit business, then why would the state tax agencies get involved?
Involved, yeah.
Because they don't get involved in drugs and so many of these illegal activities, but they do get involved in this business. That tells you something. Okay.
And the
So
other
wherever,
thing, why should we have to put ourselves out there? Our faces out there. So
of course,
to me, as an immigrant, it's really a very big risk to put myself out there on media. Yet it's what I'm doing. It's really involving, fake things or scam things. And you all know, if you're an immigrant, if you're involved in any kind of things like those, you know what happens. So
mm,
it's not something, um we would
you
have
want to
not
risk.
been here if it's not a real business. That's to be honest.
I'm gonna
Thank
make
you,
that
Dorothy.
tax. Sorry to cut you off, David.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that tax discussion a little bit more exciting. I don't want to scare people who are watching right now. Oh my God! So it is a lot of work because you need to submit this, you need to deal with these people, and so forth. You know what? It is actually the most exciting part of this business
Exactly.
because we are 100% legit. That means that every single penny that you guys put in this business is actually a business tax write off. So
Yeah.
every single penny that you guys invest in this business is a tax write off. So that does not end there because with you being a legit business owner, just like David pointed out, you're kind of like a contractor. You own a maybe considered as a plumbing business. Like it's a similar to a self-employed business. That's how legit it is. So this means what? Legit businesses, what do? They claim expenses, right? And these expenses, most of the time, they are our expense already, even if we're not doing this business. And it may include a portion, if not all. I actually just got a new car um, on Friday,
Oh,
and that car
congratulations.
is, thank you. That
Wow.
car is 100% expensed on my business, my internet
Fantastic.
connection, my hydro, because we are um, what is this, home based, right?
Right.
Utility, my gas, my car payments, what's car repairs, insurances. You own a house, right? If you're using your house to operate the business, then you are allowed to actually expense a portion of that, including but not limited to you have a mortgage interest, property taxes, property insurance, right? Like travel. So you like to travel? Go right ahead, go travel and do all those under your business. Like there is so much that people are actually missing out when they think that, okay, running a business is probably challenging. Running a business can be a little bit of more work. Trust me, the rewards are massive. Massive.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jenny. Jenny, that's a sweet spot. All the things you just mentioned, I want to be honest with you, I've experienced because when you look at my tag, it says senior advisor on cybersecurity. I run a consulting firm in cybersecurity here since 2000, I think. But that's very true. And this is my office at home. But I have a portion of my expenses here, okay, expended on the business. My internet costs are not on me. It means whatever we do as a business has to take care of that before we can say we made a profit and so much came to me and then I'm taxed. But you can't imagine the amount of things, the amount of items that go into that, travel expenses, gas, motor vehicle repairs, because the vehicle is working for the company. Without it, I can't make the money. Without it, we can't move. So there are certain expenses, maintenance, and so many things that you can actually expend, okay? And we're saying it can only happen when you're running legitimate business. If it's not a legitimate business, there's no way for you to claim it during the tax season or during the time of doing your taxes. There's no way to claim it if it's not clearly stipulated as a business expense. So you see, there's all these benefits for doing it legitimately, okay? And we're saying this is an opportunity to do legitimate business and enjoy
those privileges.
Yeah.
Yes, enjoy those privileges. Travel the world.
Exactly.
Go out there, look for opportunities.
Yeah, excuse me, David, just a second. On addition on that is like to me before I was living, a paycheck to paycheck. I was living that, the employee world whereby, I have to be paid a paycheck. But when I started my online business, the benefit, I already say that I realized that I was almost paying a lot of expenses for my boss. Like when you're working for somebody, they're the one to claim those, business expenses. For you, you cannot claim them because you are an employee. So I realized that I was almost paying a lot of taxes, yet I was earning less. But a person whom I was working for, they make a lot of money, and at the end of the year, they're paying less when it comes to taxes. So it looks like I was paying a lot of expenses for my boss at the end of the year when it comes to the taxes. So I believe that is the thing most of people should like look into. That's why people are working 3 jobs, 2 jobs.
Correct.
You still cannot make it. Yet a person who is owning just one business, they live their luxury life. But for you, you
Absolutely. Well,
you
you
know,
think of it, right? Sorry,
yes, you have
Dorothy.
to think about it when. Go ahead.
So, I mean, think of it. I mean, you mentioned that you feel like you're paying so much for your boss, but the
Yeah.
truth of it is half of your pay actually goes to taxes as well. So you get your paycheck at the end of the pay period, you get your pay slip. Your pay
Mhm.
slip pretty much tells you how much went to your union dues and so forth, taxes, federal, municipal, right? Now, when you get your net pay and spend that net pay outside, you pay for taxes again. So you were already taxed at a 30% bracket at work. When you spend that, now you also have to pay GST, HST, and so forth, and everything that you pay or you need or you buy. What do you get in return?
You don't get
Nothing. Well, guess what?
nothing.
If you are a legit business owner,
Mhm.
all of that is a privileges you are entitled. So, what is scary about trying new things and engaging yourself in a new business? You're actually missing out. People
Yeah.
are actually missing out.
Mhm.
Uh,
And no
thank
boss is going to tell you this. No employer is going to tell you this
Absolutely.
because they want to keep you there. Nobody can share what we are sharing here, guys. Trust me. I believe if you're still working for somebody, even if you're just asking for a tip to go on the next level, the only thing they can tell you, we are going to include your salary. Maybe like 2%, right? But that is within over like years. So there's nobody is going to advise you to start up something for yourself because they still want to keep you there because they know that like you are the one working hard, working much, but earning less. So it's better take an action and see if it is something you can proceed or look for something you can do yourself, like you can own as a business. Back to you, David.
thank you, Dorothy.
Wow,
Thank
it's
you.
an hour.
Yes,
Jesus.
thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Dorothy. I realize that we have quite stretched you, Jenny, but
Yeah.
appreciate that you have stood with us through this 1 hour stream. I don't know whether because to be honest with you, for the purposes of our viewers out there, I never want to let a guest go without asking them to share any valuable lesson or insight they've gained, from this kind of exposure. So, Jenny, just to wind up, I wouldn't want to stretch you, but anything to leave with our viewers, please.
I've learned from this business is really knowing what you want. You got to know what you want. You
Mhm.
have to be married. You marry what you want.
Exactly.
Um, you do not let other people dictate what you can and you can't do. Because have I done that in the past 4.5 years ago when my husband says no, where would I be now? I would still be driving all over the place, working probably for somebody else, right? So
Right.
it's being committed to what you want, taking that responsibility. Do not be afraid to fail. So what? You
Mhm.
learn from that. It's going to make you guys stronger, right? So life is going to be boring if you're always keeping it safe, right?
Right.
If you play it safe, right? Now, is this business too good to be true? Absolutely. But let me tell you guys, when something is too good to be true, that means there's something big, massive, ginormous, gigantic in it. And you don't want to miss that. You want to have a piece of that gigantic opportunity. So it's 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 right in front of you. It's right in front of you. Every day I hear people saying that, you know what, life is so tough. I just hope I can find something that I can do to better my life, to better our financial situation and so forth. And when you're presented with this type of opportunity, you question so many things, right? A lot
Right.
of people feel like, well, I'm not a tech savvy. I am not a social media person. Well, I don't have the money. Well, I don't know how to do business. I'm not a business person. Well, guess what? If you know what you want in life, that's all you need, because everything that was mentioned a while ago are all skills, and all this is skills
Mhm.
can be learned. You don't need to start this business to know all. You just have to start this business with your picture dreamscape. And when you marry that dreamscape, along the process, you will learn that dreamscape will actually allow you to grow in the business. So you don't need to be knowing it all, because no one does. You just have to know what you want. And that is enough to keep you going in the business.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jenny. We've really strayed to a repeat, but I would like to thank you for showing up today. I thank you, our viewers, wherever you are, for showing up. As usual, there is a replay. You can always find this video and, you know, view it and learn something from it, if you may. You know, um, there is a description on the same video from wherever you're watching. In it is a link to our website. Click log in or sign up with your email and name to unlock a free 20 minutes video to start your due diligence onto what we're talking about, you know, to kind of get you started into understanding what it is that we're talking about, and possibly to take action and become a part of what we enjoy in care. Dorothy, any words to say
Yes.
to viewers out there?
Our guest said it all, and I just want to appreciate her. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I would really appreciate, and our viewers out there, don't forget that every Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, we always here having successful people in our community to share their successful stories and give you some nuggets so that you be inspired and get to be informed so that you don't have to. I have just seen a message here. One of our comments says, wow, good information. You guys have added fire to me to work hard. My dear Grace Judge, you're not supposed to work hard. You just have to work smart. Okay, guys? So let's just adopt the working hard, because the working hard, it's most of the times is to, you know, like trade in money to work for you. You get to work too hard, but to working smart, you just have to let money to work for you, because if you let money work for you at the end of the day, even if one day one time you cannot go to that regular job, your money, like your business is still running. So that is what we are talking about. You're not supposed to work harder. You're not supposed to work hard. Let's come and embrace the digital world of working smart instead of working hard. All right, guys, and I'm not gonna go through all the comments because we've stretched our guest. It was really a very
It's all good.
wonderful topic.
It's all good.
This is an interesting topic, quite informative. I thank you, people, for coming up with this topic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Dorothy, I'm going to end it with a 30-second in here, if you guys don't mind. I want to inspire you guys more. 4.5 years in the business. Let me summarize with you guys, at least give you a hint what this business has done for me.
Okay.
I am now mortgage free. I've been mortgage free for the last 3 years. I
Wow.
own also multiple properties that are actually rented, and the down payment on that came from the business. The rent is actually paying the mortgages. So I am debt free, and my family is now part of the business as well. Um, if you guys are immigrant, you guys are probably in the same boat as me, where you have to help family back home and send money, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
This is a business you can actually gift your family member instead of, sending money back home. It's giving them the business that can generate them money for, that probably for a lifetime. So my niece, my sister, and pretty much everyone else is now part of the business. Like, there is so much in here that you guys are missing out. Stop procrastinating, because procrastination is your number one enemy. Procrastination is success enemy. That is the enemy of success. So pause for a while, right? Take that leap of faith. Go and jump on. You know, if you guys, a lot of people, if you guys actually, someone calls you and they need help, what do? We help right away. We even borrow money from our cards. We sell things just to help, right?
Right.
Well, if you guys can do that, help yourself. Do me a favor. This holiday, gift this business to yourself. It is something you will never regret for the rest of your life, because this is the best gift I have given myself and my family and my extended family and the many people I now inspire and help to better their life. So if you can spare money to others, if you
Mm-hmm.
can loan and nobody even pays, right?
Right.
I've been there, done that.
Exactly.
Then
Yeah.
give this to
To
yourself.
yourself.
Gift
Wow.
it to yourself.
That is very motivative,
That is
guys.
very powerful. That's
Yeah,
very
it's
powerful.
powerful.
Because you mentioned
Just
something there.
reminded me, David, just a second, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it just reminded me when I started my business. It was in 2022, but in that year, around April, I'm like, I always celebrate my birthday is always on 2020, like 22nd September. So I was like, I'm not going to celebrate my birthday in 2022 when I'm still going into like this kind of a life. I will either have to do something. If I fail to do it, then I will have to look for all solutions to do anything for me to change my life. I'm not going to celebrate my birthday when I'm still in this kind of a life. So when when you're say like to gift yourself, I just remember that when I was celebrating this year birthday, I was like, this is the best gift I gave myself on the 2022 birthday. It was like, and trust me, I did it. I made it, because within by the time by the time of 2022, I was almost, because I had two jobs, so I had already fired one of my employer on the first job. So I'm like, yes, I'm doing it. That is the best gift I give. Actually, that's even when I decided to say, I even started to say, before of a mom by yourself working too much, you feel like you don't have time even for yourself and your family. I used to say that I am not even in America. I'm like, I'm somewhere. I don't know what I'm in America yet, because the life the life I expected, it was something else. So I always used to say that I'm not in America. I'm somewhere. I don't know where I am, but I'm not sure that I'm in America. But that 2022 birthday, that is my birthday. I felt like I'm really in America. I'm now in America. So it's like giving,
Well done.
yourself a gift whereby it is adding value on yourself. It's really very, very, powerful thing to do, like for yourself. Back to you, David. Sorry for the interruption.
No, it's all good. Well done. I
So
mean,
good.
the
It's
best
so
is yet to come. So hang on tight, put your seatbelt, because this business is going to blast you off.
Yeah. Oh,
like you said, it's the
thank
gift
you.
that keeps giving. The gift that
Yes,
keeps giving. Because after all
absolutely.
that you went through, you paid your mortgages, you're able to get some extra rentals,
Mhm.
and now your families have learned and borrowing a leaf. They're joining the business. I believe that it's the gift that keeps giving. Thank you very much, Jenny.
You're very
Thank you
welcome.
for
Thank you.
stretching with us. Thank you, Dorothy, again for showing up every Sunday with us here. I would like to say have a wonderful evening, guys out there. Have a wonderful morning. Enjoy the new month. December has just started, and we hope that you all have a wonderful week ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Join us every Sunday for an episode of the Digital Business Forum at 2 p.m. PST, 3 p.m. MST, 5 p.m. EST, and 10 p.m. GMT. This forum will feature successful, experienced digital business owners with inspiring information to help you make that informed decision about starting your own digital business. By starting your own online business, you will have more free time to take control of your life, create generational wealth, retire early, and make money from anywhere in the world with just your laptop, phone, and internet. If this resonates with you, don't miss this Sunday. Digital Business Forum. Be informed.